Who's your friend?
Don't really know him. He's cool, though.
That answer didn't sit right.
Ethan was cautious around strangers. Always had been.
10 minutes went by. Then another text arrived.
Can we just come in through the front door when we get there?
Like a man quietly.
My name is Joshua Bell. I was 22 years old when this happened, a senior college student, living alone in a small rented house at the edge of the city, the kind of place that feels quiet even during the day, too quiet at night. I've replayed that night in my head more times than I can count. Every vibration of my phone, every second of silence between messages, every sound outside my front door. Because looking back now, I know the danger didn't start when someone knocked. It started with a text. It was March 4th, 2022, a Friday night. I had gotten home a little after midnight, still buzzed, still wearing the jacket that smelled like cigarette smoke and cheap beer. Earlier that night, I'd been out with two close friends, Ethan and Malik, at a downtown bar called Blackwood Tavern. The place was loud, sticky floors, music too loud to think. Around 11:30, Malik and I decided to head out. Ethan stayed behind when he spotted some other friends. Nothing unusual about that. We said our goodbyes, promised to text, and Malik dropped me off at my place before heading home himself. By 12:20 a.m., I was alone. Lights off, shoes kicked near the couch, phone charging on the kitchen counter. That's when it buzzed. A message from an unfamiliar number. "Hey, is this Josh?" I frowned at the screen. My name wasn't common, but it wasn't rare either. I typed back. "Yeah, who's it?" The reply came almost instantly. "It's Ethan. Where are you at? Send your location." I felt a flicker of confusion. Why would Ethan be texting me from a different number? "I'm home." What happened? A pause. Then, "I'm using my friend's phone. We're stranded at the bar. Can you call us an Uber to your place?" Something about the wording felt off. Too rushed, too sloppy. "Why can't you call one yourself?" "Dude, my app isn't working. Just help us out." I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Ethan was careless, forgetful, but he wasn't helpless. "Just figure it out, man." Another pause. "Just send your address." That was when the first thin thread of unease crept in. I don't know why. Nothing dramatic had happened yet, but my gut tightened. Still, I brushed it off. We'd been drinking. People do stupid things. So I sent my address, but not without adding, "You should know this by now." The reply came back. "Low? Yeah, we're on the way." I leaned back against the counter, told myself I was overthinking. Then I asked, "Why are you using your friend's phone anyway?" A few seconds passed. "Lost my phone. Who's your friend?" "Don't really know him. He's cool, though." That answer didn't sit right. Ethan was cautious around strangers. Always had been. 10 minutes went by. Then another text arrived. "Can we just come in through the front door when we get there?" I felt my stomach drop. Why would anyone need to ask that? My fingers hovered over the screen. The first message. The Uber excuse. Now this. The puzzle pieces weren't fitting. I tried calling the number. It rang once. Then straight to voicemail. I tried again. Same thing. I immediately called Ethan's actual number. Voicemail. Texted him. Delivered. No reply. The room suddenly felt smaller, like the walls had crept an inch closer. I called Malik. He answered groggily. "Have you heard from Ethan?" I asked. "No," he said. "Why?" I read him the texts. There was a silence on the line. "That's weird," Malik finally said. Like, really weird. I tried calling Blackwood Tavern. No phone number listed. While we were talking, my phone buzzed again. "We're here. Open the door." My heart began to race. I walked slowly toward my front door. Each step felt heavier than the last. I didn't turn on the porch light. I leaned in, looked through the people. Nothing. The porch was empty. No shadows, no movement. I almost laughed. Relief flooding my chest. Then, knock. One firm knock. I checked the peephole again. Still nothing. My pulse thundered in my ears. "Who is this?" I called out. My phone buzzed immediately. L-O-L. The knock came again. Slower this time. I swallowed hard. "Who is this?" I asked again, louder. Another message. "Open the door." I backed away. Every instinct screamed that something was wrong. I didn't reply. Instead, I called the police. While the phone rang, the knocking continued. Soft, then hard, then soft again. Minutes passed, like hours. Finally, it stopped. Silence returned. Heavy, oppressive. The police arrived shortly after. By then, whoever had been outside was gone. They took a report, checked the perimeter, found nothing. After they left, my house felt different, like it had been marked. I couldn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., I messaged one of Ethan's friends, someone I knew he'd been with after Malik and I left. The response came instantly. Ethan got jumped. A group of guys. We're at the hospital. My blood ran cold. Ethan's phone had been stolen. Unlocked, no password. The attackers had read his messages, found my address, found out I was alone. The number texting me? Another stolen phone. Untraceable. I lay awake until morning, staring at my front door. I thought the nightmare had reached its peak, until I learned this wasn't the only time someone would try to get inside my life through a screen. I wish I could say that once the sun came up, the fear went with it. It didn't. Morning light doesn't erase what your instincts already confirmed. It only exposes how close you were to something irreversible. I didn't leave the house that day. I skipped class, ignored texts, sat on the couch with the curtains half drawn, listening to every car that passed, every footstep that wasn't there. Ethan survived. Broken ribs, concussion, memory gaps. He told police he never even saw the group coming. Just shadows, fists, the sound of his phone hitting concrete. And the thought that kept circling my head was simple. If I had opened that door, there would have been no witnesses. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. About 3 months later, life had settled into something resembling normal again. The fear dulled. The memory blurred. That's when the messages started again. Not to me, to my father, or more specifically, to someone connected to him. Her name wasn't Kathy, but for this story, that's what I'll call her. She had dated my dad briefly after my mother passed. 6 months, maybe less. I barely interacted with her. She always felt off, too intense, too observant, like she was listening for something no one else could hear. After they broke up, my dad refused to talk about her, just said it ended badly. One evening, while I was at home visiting him, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hello, Joshua. I need your help. I stared at the screen. Who is this? You know who I am. I didn't. Not at first. Then another message appeared. Your grandparents won't leave me alone. My stomach dropped. My grandparents had died years ago. What are you talking about? It put something on me. A curse. I hear them at night. I need to know where they're buried. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. I showed my dad. The color drained from his face. Don't respond, he said. Just ignore her. So I did. At least, at first. But the messages didn't stop. They escalated. I need to exhume them. I can make it worth your while. Then, I know you always looked at me. Help me, and I'll help you. The tone shifted from desperate to disturbing. I stopped opening them. My dad called her that night. I could hear him yelling through the walls. Threats, restraints, police. He blocked her number. We thought that would be enough. We were wrong. It was close to midnight when it happened. I was in the den, lights low, TV murmuring in the background. Then I heard it, a metallic scraping sound, soft, deliberate, coming from the front door. I muted the TV, listened. The doorknob twisted once, twice. My heart slammed against my ribs. I stood, slowly, moved toward the door. There was a small glass pane above it. I peeked through. She was standing there. Kathy. Her hair was disheveled, eyes wide, unblinking. She was holding a knife, dragging it into the keyhole. I stepped back, instinctively. She looked up. Our eyes met, and she smiled. The glass shattered. He slammed her hand against the door. "Joshua!" she screamed. "Let me in! I need you!" I yelled for my dad. Her face twisted instantly. "No!" she screamed. "No, no, no!" She began pounding the door, screaming obscenities, threats. My dad rushed in and froze when he saw her. He shouted that he was calling the police. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She stood there waving the knife wildly, screaming at voices only she could hear. The police arrived minutes later. She was still there, knife in hand. They arrested her on the spot. Later, we were told she'd been suffering from severe paranoid delusions, untreated, escalating. A restraining order was issued. She never contacted us again. But the damage was done. I thought that was the end. I was wrong again. Because the final incident didn't come from texts or from someone I knew. It came from someone watching. Her name was Lena. She was 18. A friend of a friend. I met her once at a party. Weeks later, she told me what happened. She had been at a crowded bar with a friend when she received a message request on Instagram from a blank account. No picture, no followers. "Are you at Harbor Row right now?" She replied, confused. "Yeah. Who is this? You look good in pink. Are you even old enough to be here?" She thought it was a prank, until the messages followed them to a second bar. Nice choice. This one's my favorite. They saw him then, sitting near the door, watching, unblinking. The bartender kicked him out. They waited before leaving, thought it was over. They were wrong. On a quiet street, footsteps came from behind. He grabbed her, lifted her, hand over her mouth. Her friend screamed. People came running. He let go, walked away, like nothing happened. The police never found him. Her Instagram is still deactivated. 3 different nights, 3 different people. Same pattern. Access, observation, escalation. A phone, a screen, a door. I still check my locks twice. Still hesitate before answering unknown numbers. Because I learned something the hard way. The most terrifying thing isn't ghosts, or monsters, or the dark. It's realizing someone knows where you are. And you never knew they were watching. And sometimes they're already standing on the other side of your door. My name is Joshua Bell. I was 22 years old when this happened, a senior college student, living alone in a small rented house at the edge of the city, the kind of place that feels quiet even during the day, too quiet at night. I've replayed that night in my head more times than I can count. Every vibration of my phone, every second of silence between messages, every sound outside my front door. Because looking back now, I